Hi, this is Rajith. I'm so happy to join all of you. I hope you're joining me. And if you're not right now, then I will be posting this video for later viewing on both Facebook and my One Illumined Heart YouTube channel. All the videos are going on there from here. So welcome, welcome. It's been an intense weekend. It's actually been an intense 6 months. And this was the first lock gate shift for 5D this weekend. It's been intense. Some of us have had major dizziness, feeling off balance, some mostly laying down or taking it easy. I'm wondering how all of you are doing through this. Some of you who are part of this 1,357,000,000 are probably moving quite ahead. So what I want to talk about today, I posted it, is one thing is the expanded abilities for healers that is coming out of this fifth dimensional gate lock shift as we're carrying, higher frequencies of light. We'll discuss that in a moment. Also, if not everybody in the 1,357 plus million may have been totally ready for this whole ride yet, they might be just at the edge of the beginning of the path. They need a little more time to maybe build their crystal bodies, etc. So we'll talk about that, and about how long the time is once you get on that path to integrate your whole embodiment and all of your organs and glands and everything in alignment with that frequency. Let's get started. It's going to be lots of information. Okay, so first of all, we know that I'm going to take my glasses off. This first gate lock shift is right now. The official time was the 25th and the 26th of June. Most of us who are in this group of 1,357,000,000 have been working, of course, for years on our spirituality and our awakening, either in this body or multiple bodies, or have dedicated hundreds, some of us thousands of lives to awakening humanity to greater love, light, the truth of who they are. That's been the essence of our work. So I just wanted to let you know that everyone is going to make it across into this, whoever wants to choose love as a way of life and working together. What I've been told in my meditation today is that there's about almost a billion of us, 900 million some odd people, are making it totally across. So for them, that energy started about a week ago, where the intensity was ramping up. Prior to that, we were like flattened out as we're releasing old stuff that didn't need to go into this new beautiful energy. And so I know for me, the energy started at about really intensely the 22nd, 23rd of June. And it will keep going. What I'm told is the intensity from the 22nd, 23rd of June through about July 1st, it's going to be pretty intense. And that intensity it will cause you to be more tired. I know some of us have been experiencing some nausea before and after eating. That's been kind of interesting. You might also find that you're choosing different foods during this time. You might also see that you're really not wanting as much to eat, which is also good. So listen to your body, and I do know hydration, lots of minerals are super important. So those of you who are drinking green drinks or the powdered greens, smoothies with fruit and veggies, great idea. Hearty soups, big salads full of rich, dark leafy greens, etc. Really important for you during this period. All right, so between the 22nd and 23rd and around the 30th, 1st of July, it's more of an intense time where it's really good to do a lot of meditation, quiet time, contemplation. Even those of you who are doing Tai Chi, or maybe some other kind of martial arts where there's meditation and movement, awesome. Yoga postures, moving, stilling your body, stilling the mind. doing your, if you have a religion that does chanting, doing that, focused chanting, focused prayer work, silent going inside, all of that during this period is really helpful to help you align with your body, to help you remain centered and find where your center is. Okay. Now, I'll talk about that in just a minute. I had quite an experience today. And so there is another week of integration after the first. So they told me that it's going to be intense from the 22nd to the 1st. And then the 1st to the 7th of July, it's a 20 to 25% intensity of what we're experiencing now. So I think it's going to be very doable, very bearable. Again, continue whatever practices you need to do to stay in your center, to choose love, and to get with yourself, to get aligned with your higher self, with your divine creator self, so that you can move from that heartfelt space that we talked about yesterday, learning to live from your heart, from the choice of making choices from a place of love and a place of forgiveness, a place of generosity, of our time with one another, even generosity in forgiving other people, sharing our time, giving of our body to other people if they need help, giving of our finances, sharing our food, holding compassionate energy for others. All of that is part of this process. And then the process of allowing new co-creations to make our world a better place. And that comes a little bit later after we get all these downloads done. So this time of integration is about downloading whatever the codes are that we are carrying in our higher self field that needs to come down into the body with us. Okay, some of them are, most of us in this group have already been quite activated. Others, people still need more activation. All of us need more activation to keep going up in frequency. So that is that. Now, in that last week, again, staying focused on your eating, and I'm thinking some people are doing journaling during this time, either on their computer or in a journal, to kind of keep track of where they are, how they're feeling. So how are you feeling? Check in with yourself every day. What do you need to do to take care of yourself, to feel more calm, to feel centered, to feel loving, to feel, that your life is worth something and that you're connected to something that is positive. So this new energy feels really beautiful and it feels really great. So let's go back to the other people who haven't quite made it. So I asked, so how's this going to work for the people who are in this, registered to move into this first gate, but maybe haven't got enough layers of their crystal body quite ready to do that, because you have got to have your 2 layers minimum, ideally 3, to make it easier for yourself. So some people who've been heavy duty meat eaters but are a high spiritual frequency from their spiritual practices or from other lives that they're carrying in with them, that they came in as a high frequency but don't have the diet to support it. You will build a crystal body on a meat diet, but painfully slow. And unfortunately, because we only have 3 gate locks for people to move into, so those of us in this 8 billion number of people who are on the planet have choices to make on how to live and how to get that crystal body made. And the crystal body is made by eating less anything animal life, just ideally ditch. If your body can't do it, do a transition diet. So you want to keep that frequency up and high and light, non-toxic, and also not harmful to others, not harmful to animals, not harmful to life. So we'll talk about in a minute about gratitude when we eat, but let's finish these numbers of people. So the amount of time that we have from this gate shift for everyone in this first gate who is meant to go into it, who signed up, who's done either part or most of their work to get there, we have until the first week of September to finish getting people in. So if you need help, if you have questions about Well, what frequency am I? Because you need to be at least a 10. No, let's see, they moved it. 10 to get into the gate, but when the gate opened, when 5D gate opened, in order to start building your crystal body, you have to be a 10. But you need to be an 11 to get into the gate, and you have to have a minimum of two, actually they're saying 2.5 to 3 layers of crystal body to get in, or it'll be too hard on your physical body. It'll be too painful. So the more layers that you can get in before you slide onto that path, the better for you. So we have time. And you've got lots of people on the planet. There's 1 billion of us that have crossed over. Then surely there's help for you out there. You can just look at people's posts. I do want to give one hint of caution. There are some people who are very connected to ETs. Now, some ETs are wonderful. They're supportive, they're helpful. Others are not so helpful. Others are part of a different energy force in duality that will allow you to appear to be lifting up. And you are going up. However, there's a lid on how far up you get to go. So like, how much do you want that lid to be impacting you? So learning discernment, listening to your heart. Does this feel good? Does this feel in alignment with me? Those are really important questions to ask yourself. I often get sent things from people, and I get this like sick feeling, like, no, this is an impediment on my way, so I'm not going to partake. And so choose to just thank the divine within you to bring you to the light, the true, pure light of love and grace and mercy in yourself, in others, and to be guided to the people who can help you move across in that way, safe and sound. Okay, so then we have the rest of the planet, right? We have 2 more gates, one at the end of November, one at the end of January. So there's a lot of people who are going to be noticing. They're saying to me after, mid to end July, people are going to be noticing that there's a difference about the other human beings on the planet. That they're lighter, they're holding more light. That their skin, one of the things that's supposed to happen is that we are going to be literally emanating more light. The more layers of crystal body we have, the more light we will be able to emanate. Well, that looks different, doesn't it, than a person who's not emanating light. So those people who are looking at that light, feeling attracted to that light, and that energy of greater grace and love and mercy and kindness in that person's field might say, I don't know what that is, but I want some, or I want to be more like that. So, like a bee goes to the flower to make honey and is attracted to the most beautiful flowers. So it is with people, so it is with spiritual teachings, wherever and around the world. It doesn't matter which they're all beautiful. They all teach love. They all teach forgiveness. They all teach selfless service. So the culture that the religion came in is really irrelevant. It's the core of what's being taught that needs to be paid attention to, okay? I know some people will disagree with me, but I've been in over 3,000 bodies and been in every religion, and I just feel this incredible breadth of embracing religions of all different kinds. So that's just me. Okay, so the people who are still needing to go do this work, and everybody's free to make a choice. Not everybody, not all 8 billion of us may be making this choice. It's open to everyone, but are the souls mature enough? Do they want this? Are they young souls and not quite ready to go dive in this way? Other young souls are like, yep, I want to hang out with love. So who knows what reasons that people will choose to go do this. Hopefully it's from a place from their heart. And that's what is being pulled in. It's kind of like a magnetic energy that pulls us onto that path. So that's very important to know that we are available. So you're probably going to be finding that lots of people, there'll be more people doing Zooms, more people doing things in big groups, helping people raise their frequency. So one of the things I was asked to do yesterday was Monday and Tuesday of this week, and most likely Wednesday, I'll be doing a Facebook Live with light language. And light language is encoded. Now, I do want to say one thing. Not everybody's light language matches that person, because we all come from different places. And I've been on different sites where people are doing light language, and sometimes in a group. Some people are speaking in a different language. It's not necessarily light. It's not necessarily love. And that's the at that ET darker influence. But the majority of the people are doing light language. But again, discernment. If it hits you and it doesn't feel right, pay attention, move away. If my light language that I'm offering doesn't suit you, start looking up on Google and or YouTube for people who are doing light language. And if you're curious whether or not this person is kosher or safe to listen to, and you want to know, feel free to email me at info@oneilluminedheart, and I'll get right back to you. Give me the link so that I can see. And I don't want to do this in public to say, who may not be, appropriate for you, but who knows? The thing is this, there are really, everything in life is an experience. So I had a couple of experiences with ETs when I was like less discerning. And also I didn't know that I needed to be discerning. And I had some experiences that were not fun. And they were intrusive. They were abusive. And unraveling from that energy took real focus, real forgiveness of myself for not paying better attention. And also, forgiving the person who was offering this energy that was harmful. They're doing their job, because remember, there's duality on this planet. Right now we're moving out of 80% darkness and 20% light to 70% light and 30% darkness. So the light is always being challenged by the dark. That's the dark's job, so that we can learn discernment, so that we can learn how to forgive. So, so, so important. So I want you to know that is something that you need to pay attention to. So feel free to ask, tune into yourself. Does this feel good? Does this not feel good? Okay. And it's okay. Everybody's got their job to do. And like for me, I could make myself really wrong for falling prey to something from the darkness, but that was a lesson I needed to learn. So we don't want to get all judgy about someone doing that. You just make a choice. Okay, well, that's not mine to do. That is not mine to be with right now. I'm not needing to be in that energy, etc. So I just want you to know that you have choices. Use your discernment. There's an inner wisdom in your heart. There's an inner knowing in your third eye. You are connected to Source, and if you take the quiet time to bless your embodiment every day and move into gratitude, you will be fine. And as we move through this time, helping as many of these other 8 billion people into greater light, reminding them that whatever mistakes they have made, and I've made plenty in this life and other lives, it's all forgiven and forgivable. That we are, in our core, made out of love. So we can help them with that. We can help them with, okay, this is the proper diet. So please, my One Illumined Heart YouTube channel, and it's not the number one, it's a word one, O-N-E, illumined heart, has diet for an ascending body, the best diet for raising your frequency, etc. So how do we raise our frequency? Diet. We raise our frequency by holding love, choosing love, by doing forgiveness, letting go of the past, this life, past lives, ancestral memories in us that, we're all carrying, because we all have ancestors. I don't know anybody who doesn't have ancestors. I have met people who've been here in the body the first time. I did walk into my office and I'm going like, wait a minute, why are you here? You don't have anything to clear, right? Because their fields were gorgeous and beautiful, and I would look at them and I'm like, oh my God, you almost look angelic, right? And then I asked them, why are you here? And most of them say, we don't understand. We came down here to share love and goodness and compassion and generosity, and people are hurting us left and right, betraying us, lying to us. We don't understand what's going on here. You're getting the first lessons of duality. And I told them the biggest trick is to keep forgiving no matter what. I can't even begin to tell you how much I have needed to forgive this lifetime. As I've had to become aware of my 3,342 lives as a human, I got to see the good in me, the ugly, and the kind of average, the exalted. I've had all those experiences. And you have to learn to love it all. It's all here as an experience. Sometimes it's a test. When you come in to hold the light, the dark will test you. End of story. So, just like I had to do my clearing, other people will need to do theirs. So we can all be loving and supportive of one another doing that whole thing with all these other people who are needing to wake up. Now, they're not going to have as much time as we have. So we are in an accelerated time. 3D is in dissolution. The web is already broken of 3D. So it's not going to be here. No matter how much you want to think it's going to be here, it's just not going to be here. So surrender to that notion. The 5D web is built, this new path that we just clicked on, and I could really feel it today. So I'll share what I experienced. So I was told to make sure that I got up by 7 or 7:30, and I couldn't fall asleep very early last night, so I made it 7:30 trying to get a little bit of extra Z in. The minute I got up, drank my water, had to have my coffee, sat down to meditate, and oh my God, the world just started whirling for me. And all day until actually about 5 o'clock, which was just not very long ago, I would look straight ahead and to the right. I would be looking straight ahead, but I could feel this torque in my field moving to the right, and it was spinning like this and pulling me over to the right. Now, just like, whoa. And then for a while it was going to the left. So I'm sure that was something had to do with my Merkaba spinning. And it's Merkaba. By the way, there's a couple of great programs on Gaia, GAIA, the production group that have all kinds of enlightening videos. There's some great videos there on the science of the Merkaba. We don't have to focus on it, because regardless of what, it's being built, whether you choose to have it built or not, when you're choosing love and moving into this higher frequency. But it's interesting for those of you who are scientific and really want to know how does this working. It was enlightening for me, because I never had to be conscious of this until they told me, oh, you're building your Merkabas this next few months, blah blah blah. So anyway, so that was interesting, and it happened quite a bit. I got a call from somebody on the East Coast whose husband this morning stood up and almost fell over. And so he was down for the count for the rest of the day. And like she said, she was grateful to know that it's 5D. It's not because he's got something wrong with him, that he's got a tumor, he's going to have a stroke, or, you know, none of that stuff. That it was connected to this 5D evolution that we're in the middle of. So, okay, let's see here. We talked, okay, and I talked about how long it takes. It's no matter when you start, if you start, let's say if you're one of the people who starts at the end of July or early August to do this 2-week thing, or any point between there and September, just remember it's about a 2-week period. The first 7 to 9 days is more intense than the last. So the integration time, getting into the feel and rhythm of this new frequency that you're in. I mean, most of us are already a higher frequency, but aligning our frequency with that new earth frequency and being in sync with that is going to take a little bit of getting used to. Okay? So just allow that grace and that time for that to happen. I wish I knew all of you out there to tell you, when you're going to be doing what, but I don't have that option. All I can tell you is to pay attention, ask for help, work with somebody who sees if you need to. Now, one of the other exciting things, always, when people ask me questions, I get some great answers. So today my roommate was asking about hands-on healing. And this week, is she allowed to work on people? And I was told no for myself. Not again until Friday, which is, I think, not sure if that's the 30th or the 1st. I can't remember. But anyway, not until Friday. And for her, she wasn't allowed to do it, I think, until Thursday this week. And only for 45 minutes, not longer, because that other week of, getting embodied in this new frequency, like, as I said, gelling with this new energy is going to be, it's a little bit of work. So, she's doing it less. So then my guys were saying, and they've said this before, but, and I knew that when we move into 5D, that the healing ability of people who are doing healing, hands-on work, or sending healing, some people do it with energetically, it's going to be more powerful. So, for instance, the session that this one woman is doing is normally about an hour and a half, hands-on, and then she talks to the people. Now it's going to go down to 45 minutes. What she could accomplish in an hour and a half in 3D, she is accomplishing in 45 minutes. Now that's really interesting, because when we went in last November to a place that has 5th dimensional frequency, when we were sitting in that frequency, and we were supposed to be doing opening things, but all of a sudden it was shown that different people needed healing, like right then on the spot. Oh my gosh, like one person that would have been like actually it was the second day. This gentleman, it would have taken like 3 2-hour sessions to do what we did in 30 minutes. It was unbelievable. And other people, that which would have taken an hour to an hour and a half was 15 minutes. I was shocked at how fast stuff moved. So just know, if those of you who are healers, who do hands-on, or those of you who might be doing chiropractic work, massage, energy healing, acupuncture, the energy that moves through your body to the needle as an acupuncturist is super important. And because your intention and your love, all of that is going into that person. So just know all of that's going to be more powerful, more quick. Who knows? We may not even need needles, right? So the profession of acupuncture may evolve right in front of us, just because the energy that's coming out of our fingers and our hands is going to be so powerful. I know that years ago, in the, gosh, how old was I? I think it was about 24 years ago now. I was at a conference, and a woman had a huge cyst on her ovary and was in a tremendous amount of pain. And she knew that I was doing some hands-on healing, but I had no idea what I was capable of. And it wasn't me that was capable, but the energy that came through me. Because one of the things that I had to learn early on, back in 92, because I had an incredible experience that was very painful, was that I am not the doer. It is the divine or God doing the doing through me. So it was easier then to let go of the attachment to, this is working, this is not working. Am I good at this? Am I not good at this? Because the energy that's divine that's coming through me, and also directly what the person allows into their body, is between that person and the divine. So you may, as a healer, be willing and able to send love and light from your field and your hands into that person. But if they have a block to wanting to get well, or to receive healing because they don't deserve it, or they're not worthy, or whatever that program is, that will stop. Like you can feel that energy back up into my hand, into my body, like it'll push away. So then you have to stop and clear what the resistance is, right? So anyway, it was an incredible experience. This woman was super willing. She was a healer herself, and she was trying to do self-healing on this cyst. That it wasn't a fibroid tumor, it was a huge cyst. So, and you could see it was all poofy on, I'm trying to remember, it was the right side of her pelvis. And so she asked me to do some work. And we did the work, and oh my God, it was huge, the experience of the light that moved through me into her. The light in the room shifted, and the next morning, that whole side was flat, and she had been releasing vaginally, the whatever that cyst energy was coming out. So it was amazing. I have no idea what to say, except for she said that things were better. She went and got it's not a sonogram, ultrasound. And a week later, and the cyst was totally gone. So it wasn't me that did it. It was her willingness to receive. It was allowing the divine God to move through her, that divine God to move through me. All of that happened all at the same time. So just know that this is going to pick up and get faster. Now, my sessions with people, they're long because I do major grid work, move huge stuff in past lives and energies that are connected, etc. I will keep you posted when my 1.5 to 3 hour sessions, how they reduce in time. That would be wonderful. Better for the patient, better for me. We can do more people that way, right? Okay, so that'll be exciting to see how healing will change. The other thing that I was reminded of this morning and last night is, and I know the web is full of this, practicing gratitude. It's huge. Practicing gratitude is everything. You start with being grateful for your breath, for your embodiment, for the knowledge that you have, for the gift of life that you have, for whatever sustenance, the roof over your head, your education, your willingness to live, to love, to be, to receive, and interact with people. Walking, talking gratitude changes your life. It changed mine for forever. And when I started doing daily, oh God, how many years ago was that? Way back in the 90s. Practicing gratitude every day and just saying thank you to the divine for my life and the opportunity to serve in my way. We all serve in a different way. Kindergarten teachers serve by sharing their love with the children. The civil engineer shares his intellect and wisdom on how to build freeways or whatever civil engineering people do. Doctors, nurses, gardeners, the garbage man. I mean, it doesn't matter. There is so much to be grateful for. So please, as you move forward into this new time, remember 5D is a new slate. We're on a new road. What do you want to pave that road with? You want to pave it with love? You want to pave it with judgment? Nah. Now, I'll just briefly mention, we know all the stuff that's going on in the news. We have the January 6th commission regarding the elections here in the United States. And we're looking at what a holy mess that is. And the debacle around Roe versus Wade. Already the huge number of children that are unwanted that are in the foster care system. Wherever you are on this, it's painful. And we can get angry about it, or we can choose to do solutions. I would say choose your solutions. Master, my spiritual teacher reminded me months ago, last year, the year before too, let the news be like a blip on the screen. And boy, I had a tough time with that in the previous election, with all the debasing of human decency that went on. And I just want to say, I have to say, I was pretty judgmental. I was like so unhappy, so appalled, because it was against my set of values, but it all served a purpose. We don't know where all that purpose is. So I'm realizing in the last couple of years, really do not get attached. If there's something that you want to support, be for it, not against it. Use your energy wisely. Focus on what you can do in a loving, positive, co-creative way in community. We work together to help one another, to balance and create more harmony and love in ourselves first, because that's like the pebble in the stream, right? If you're holding enmity and anger, it's really challenging to put out love. So move toward love. What's in the way of you loving you? What's in the way of you loving others? It's like move that energy. And just as a reminder, if you do have issues with people or yourself or God, like I had a lot of issues with God, with how the world is run and how much suffering there is and cruelty, I had a few things to say about that. And so anyway, I'm going to remind you that on my One Illumined Heart channel, there are 3 videos on forgiveness work. One is forgiving yourself, the other is forgiving others, and the other one's forgiving God. So I can help take you through a process there. Also, on my last video on YouTube, I posted how to connect with Ho'oponopono self-healing, as well as EFT, the emotional freedom tapping technique. So it's all out there. There's love and support for all of you. Please join this huge band of delightful light that we are moving into. Move toward hope. Let go of your judgment. Be in the moment as much as you can and express love. And be there for your fellow man in the way that it works from your heart, because of what you are love. And that's all there is to it. Okay, I'm delighted to speak with you, and thank you for joining me. God bless all of you, and be a good human. Thank you. Bye-bye and namaste. I think.